Wa Bahashem Yahawahshi Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, I want to acknowledge Allah purity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. Hebrews 1 is where I'm going to be through the Spirit today. And I'll start at the top. It says, The Most High, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. All right. So the Most High always speaks through his prophets, right? In every age. All right. What is it? Orson Welles, the way the elders were bringing out there was a documentary or something on I don't remember what the documentary was titled, but Orson Welles he said that the prophet is God's man. The prophet is the man of God, right? So that's what the prophets are. Not only are we the teachers, not only are we the ones who are called to break down these prophecies, given the understanding, and the Lord puts his words in our mouth, right? Because you can't use your own word if you're a prophet. You have to. It's Yahweh that puts his words in our mouth. Okay. Verse 2: hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. Yeah, because Yahawahshi he was the one who Yahweh created Yahawahshi, right? His only begotten Son, and then Yahawahshi created the Elohim, or the first fruits, or the prophets, and that's how the 7-day creation was. That's where it took part. The Elohim is who created. The story in Genesis, the creation story. It says God in these KJV Bibles if you go read it, but when you go back to the Hebrew, in the original text, the original language, it actually would say Elohim were the creators, right? That's why it says whom also who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high. Right? Yahawahshi, he sits at the right hand of the Father. And he was the image of Yahweh in person. All right? Verse 4, being made so much better than the angels, as he hath by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. All right, so Yahawahshi is better than the angels, as it is written right here, right? Because he's actually, the angels are spirits. So Yahawahshi was the first spirit. He was the first angel created. All right, so he's the chief priest, right? Verse 5. For unto which angel of the angels said he at any time, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. And again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. All right, Yahawahshi is the only one who can claim that that Yahweh said, Thou art my son, right? He said that to the disciples. Let me get that precept. Matthew 17. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll get Matthew 17 and 5. It says, While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, which a cloud is the chariot, And behold, a voice out of the cloud, out of the chariot, out of what you call a UFO, which said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him." And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were sore afraid. Why? Because they saw a chariot. It'd be like if a chariot just came all the way down low enough to where it's just right above you, and you just hear the voice of Yahweh saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him." This is why the disciples were so scared. It was like a UFO, what you call a UFO, a chariot, coming low to the ground, and then the voice comes out the chariot. All right, so let's go back to Hebrews 1 and verse 6. And again, when he bringeth the first begotten into the world, he saith, "And let all the angels of the Most High worship him." Right? So, the first begotten, his only begotten Son, is Yahawahshi. All right. Verse 7. And the angels, he saith, who maketh his angels spirits, and his ministers a flame of fire. But unto the Son he saith, "Thy throne, O the Most High, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom." Right, so the throne is Yahawahshi. Yahawahshi is going to sit on the throne in the kingdom. Yahweh is the most powerful entity. Yahawahshi is the second most powerful entity in all creation, right? And I should say, in all existence, because Yahweh wasn't created. That's what Yahweh means in Hebrew. He exists. All right. So he existed. He wasn't created. He existed. Yahawahshi was created by Yahweh. He was the first begotten Son. All right. Verse 8. But unto the Son. Oh wait, I just read that one. Verse 9. Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Therefore the Most High, even the Most High, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. And the oil is a metaphor for wisdom. All right? So Yahawahshi had that wisdom above thy fellows, which are above his brethren, above the ones he created, above the ones that Yahweh gave him, right? His prophets, his men, his elect men, the 144,000. John 17. Let's see if we can find that verse. Okay, here we go. Read this. I'll start at 5. It says, "And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word." All right. So Yahweh gave his men, he gave the prophets, the 144,000, the elect, which the elect starts out with the prophets, right? Then you have the 1/3 of Israel who believes the prophets. But you have the elect. When I say elect, that's collectively the 144,000 and the 1/3 of Israel who believes. But you have to remember, the elect always starts out with the prophets, the 144,000. The ones that Yahawahshi says right here in verse 5. "And now, Father, glorify thou me with thine own self with the glory which I had." Or I'm sorry. In verse 6. "And I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word." Those are the prophets. That verse right there is talking about the 144,000. All right, not all of the elect, just the prophets. Right, and it says, he had the glory that I had with thee before the world was. Why? Because Yahawahshi was the first begotten Son, and then the Yahawahshi created the elect, because Yahweh gave him that ability, right? And the Elohim, which are the elect, the angels, they helped Yahawahshi with the creation, the 6-day creation, right? And then the day of rest, which the Elohim rested. Okay. Hebrews 1 and 10. And thou, Yahweh, in the beginning hast laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thine hands, right? They shall perish, but thou remainest, and they shall wax old as doth a garment. And as a vesture shalt thou fold them up, and they shall be changed, but thou art the same, and thy years shall not fail. Right, so the foundation of the earth and the heavens has got to be refreshed. It's going to be made new, right? We read about the new heaven and the new earth. Let's see, in Revelation. So that's referring to the new heaven and the new earth, which it's not going to be totally annihilated or destroyed, but it's the word new, it means refreshed. Okay? So the fire that he's going to bring during the nuclear war is going to refresh the new heavens and the new earth, or the new heaven and the new earth. Let's get that in Revelation real quick. Revelation 21. 21. Salakia, let's see. All right, Revelation 21 and 1. It says, And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So the New Jerusalem coming down from heaven are those prophets, the bride, which were the bride of Yahawahshi. All right. The 144,000 are the bride of Yahawahshi. All right. When the word married, because we're married to Yahawahshi, the word married, it means joined together, right? And this is how, because you hear the word bride, you think of a woman, but let me read verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle, or the church of the Most High, is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their God, or their power, right? So the new heaven and the new earth were refreshed, right? There's passed away, and then that's when you see the prophets. That's the kingdom established. The Jerusalem coming down from the Most High out of heaven is literally the prophets, the 144,000 coming back in our new bodies, those celestial spirits, those celestial bodies that we get because we're going to get taken up in them chariots during the nuclear war, right before the missiles, would kill us if we weren't taken up. So right before the missiles hit, we'll be in the chariot and watching the destruction, and then we come down and from heaven, the new Jerusalem. So because you have to remember, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. And as we come down, because we're going to put the elite in slavery, the wicked elite, the ones who survived the nuclear war, right? They'll be the first ones in slavery. Because they're going to survive. Some of these elite are going to survive in their bunkers. All right? But they'll be going into shackles, right? Let's get that real quick in Isaiah 14. Verse Isaiah 14 and 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All right. So we're going to rule over our oppressors. Who's our oppressors? All of the heathen that have had us in captivity throughout all these generations. But the most recent, the current captivity, we're under the so-called white man. All right. We're going to, be the rulers. We're going to have the dominion on the new heaven and the new earth. And, they're going to see Jerusalem, the new Jerusalem, coming down from heaven, which, again, those are the prophets. Which at that time we'll have spiritual, heavenly, celestial bodies. We'll also have our spiritual powers in full force. Because we're actually going to have full spiritual powers in the flesh. But by the time we're coming down, what we just read in Revelation, we'll literally be in our godly images, in our celestial heavenly bodies. Let me go back to Hebrews. Hebrews 1. Oh, that's why it says in let me read verse 12 again. And as a vesture, thou shalt fold them up, right? Because it's going to get changed, and they shall be changed. But thou art the same, and thy years shall not fail. So you're going to see the image of the nuclear bomb going off. It's like a scroll being opened and folded up. That's what that's referring to, right? Verse 13. But to which of the angels said he at any time, sit on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool? Right. So Yahawahshi, he said that too, right? So the enemies aren't going to be our footstool until the kingdom, until we're in those heavenly bodies. It's not going to be while we're in the flesh. You see? Verse 14. Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? Right. So who's the elect, the prophets? We're the ministering spirits. We're the teachers. We're the ones who have sent forth to minister, to be the heirs of salvation, because the scriptures also speaks about how we become joint heirs with Yahawahshi. Let's grab that, and I'm going to close out on that. Romans 8. Romans 8 and verse 17. And if the sons, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. You see that? So we know it's going to be, well worth it. It's going to be our suffering, everything that we go through here. It's going to be like it's going to seem like nothing compared to the glory that we're going to get. That brings into remembrance, I think it's in Corinthians, for our light affliction. Yeah, 2 Corinthians, and I'll close out on that. 2 Corinthians 4:17. It says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. All right? So the glory that we're going to receive with Yahawahshi, it's not comparable to, or I should say the affliction, and the momentary affliction. It's going to be considered a light affliction compared to the glory that we're gonna receive with Yahawahshi as joint heirs, as heirs and joint heirs with Mashiach, with Yahawahshi. All right. So even though no matter what we go through on this end, we go through all the things we have to endure. We're going through the fire. We're going through the suffering, having patience. It could be financial woes. It could be relationship woes. It could be both, Everything that we got to go through here on this side is going to be like nothing, a light affliction compared to the eternal weight of glory that we're going to receive. Okay? And, I pray that I'm in that number. Lord's will, I'm in that number. But I'm going to go ahead and close out on that. And I hope the lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawahshi, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge Alakim who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect.